being yourself. The biggest thing that you can bring to the industry is you yourself. Where you are coming from, what your life has been, what is your perspective, what is your point of view. And a lot of filmmakers lose that the moment they walk in. They want to imitate something that has impressed them. They want to because what you are is original. You are a sum of lots of unoriginal cliched things, but the sum total is original. And what you are is original. And when you are an original self and you are your own self, and when you put yourself out there, the first thing you'll face is rejection. Because nobody is familiar with you. So first thing they'll do is they'll reject you. First thing they'll tell you is not to be yourself. And that's where the fight begins. That's where, because everybody will trash you, everybody will criticize you, everybody will say, this doesn't work. And yes, nothing works. And everything works. And only you get everything else. And the person who gave me that offer, he said, I can only pay you for 10 months because my total budget is 1 lakh. And I was making 3 lakhs a month. And I went back to my family. I knew that I wanted to take that job, take that offer. My whole family, everyone told me that after 3 years of struggle, you're suddenly making so much money. Everything is working for you. Why do you want to take that offer? I said, I don't know. That's the film that I really want to do. And I really want to do film. And the fights went on. People stopped talking to me. And I picked up that film. And that film was Satya. And it's always the choices that you make. Because somewhere instinctively I said, this is what I want to do. Everything else is going to make me money. Everything else was making me secure. It was making me secure. It would have sorted my life out. It was making me secure. And consciously choosing that path against all odds, it made my life miserable for next few years. Because Satya was not made in 10 months. Satya was made in 2.5 years. Satya was made in 2.5 years. And I had to figure out how to survive. Is that I cannot have EMIs. Very early on in life I realized that I have EMIs, my EMIs will start making decisions for me. So I never took anything on loan from a bank. I don't have any EMIs. You don't make those choices where things pull you down. You don't make those choices where somebody takes it away. And my freedom came, and I realized over a period of time that a lot of people, or producers in the industry, a lot of people who make movies, other than directors, I'm talking about people who actually greenlight their movies, a lot of them don't know what works. Everybody pretends to know what works. Everybody feels very secure because if something that you're doing references what has worked in the past, it makes them feel good. They feel deep inside that, okay, a film like this has worked in the past, so this will also work, and they feel secure and they give you the money. And they are often looking at you to see your confidence, to see how sure you are about what you want to do. And long time back I realized I'm making movies that might not make sense on paper, but maybe they will see why I'm doing that after I've made it. But to reach from the point of wanting to make it to after having made it is a journey I must take. And to take that journey, I must get the money. And I always work backwards, and which is something that I always tell everyone. Even my films that I produce with my newcomers, I do not green light them till they have worked on it backward.
पता नहीं, मैं अभी भी समझ नहीं पाता हूँ. मेरे चारों तरफ बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं जो ना मैंने सोची थी, ना मैंने चाही थी. मैं कभी इतना एम्बिशियस नहीं था. कभी कभी मैं एनालाइज करता हूँ तो मुझे लगता है कि मैं मुंबई क्यों आ पाया, क्योंकि मैं बहुत भोला था शायद. मैंने कभी ये नहीं सोचा रहूँगा खाऊँगा क्या. आजकल इतने बच्चों से मिलता हूँ, वो लोग इसलिए नहीं आ पाते हैं, सर आ तो जाऊँगा लेकिन क्या खाऊँगा, मैं रहूँगा कैसे. अगर मैंने ये सब सोचा होता तो मैं नहीं आ पाता. मैं हर चीज़ ज़िंदगी में इसलिए कर पाया क्योंकि मैंने सिर्फ करना चाहा और कर गया. मतलब घुसा उसमें और कर दिया बिना सोचे क्या मिलेगा. कि लिखने का शौक़ था, मैंने बहुत लोगों के लिए लिखा, कभी ना पैसे मांगे ना नाम मांगा. तो लोगों को मुझसे कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं होती थी. अरे आ जा, कुछ भी करवा सकते थे मुझसे. तो मेरे लिए सारे दरवाजे और खिड़कियाँ खुली थे क्योंकि मैं सबके लिए कुछ भी कर देता था. चाय बनाने से लेकर के किसी के लिए लिखना भी हो, मैं पूरी फिल्में लिखी हैं जिसमें मेरा नाम नहीं है, ना 1 रुपये मिले उसके. तो वो सब मैं करता था और पैसे से मेरा कोई लगाव नहीं था. तो इसलिए चीज़ें बहुत आसानी से होती गई. मुझे हमेशा कुछ किसी तरह का स्टिमुलेशन चाहिए था और इसलिए मैं ऐसे लोगों के पीछे जाता था,
Said
जुड़ता
that,
था।
everything that you have learned so far is not going to be of any use. And I agree with that. Because it's going to be of a lot of use only if you need to put application to it. And you need to know how to deal with life. You will see a lot of things. You have to understand you're getting into a business where nobody wants you. You are going to make movies nobody wants you to make. You are going to you're going to people and you're going to ask them for their money to live your dream. So there's so many things that you are going to face which I don't think you're prepared for. Nobody owes it to you. No one owes it to you. You want to be a filmmaker, it's only your responsibility. No one owes it to you. What film you want to make, how you want to do it is entirely your responsibility. Nothing is going to be given to you in a platter. Nobody's sitting there waiting for you to come and, just change everything. Nobody wants you. Everybody is very happy. You have to understand cinema is art for the artist, for the filmmaker who wants to create art. But for the man who's the patron of the art is also a businessman. The man who's going to give you the money to make a film is a businessman. It's a well you are going to draw the water from. But that well, if it runs dry, then there'll be no more water there, right? So you have to figure out a way where you make films and you give back so that, you continue making films. One thing that I've seen a lot of filmmakers, a lot of my classmates, friends, a lot of people who have made films and who's made one film or two films, and they're far more brilliant than I ever was. I have always believed that I'm a very mediocre filmmaker, but I think that I have a lot more courage sometimes and I have probably a lot more drive. But as far as the understanding of cinema and art or anything else is concerned, I think I'm very mediocre. I can talk about a whole lot of filmmakers who I have learned from and I still learn from, and they still don't make films. And I do, every year. And there's a reason to that, which I want to tell you. The reason is that, a lot of filmmakers lose their way, and especially it happens to filmmakers. It will not happen to engineers and doctors and other people, but it often happens to filmmakers. They lose themselves in their own greatness. There's a hell of a lot of peer pressure that they walk into the world with. They walk into the world with wanting to be Fellini or Scorsese or someone, and they forget that they need to be themselves.